Hello and welcome back to the channel. I just thought I would do probably the final Toyota hybrid review. Just in case you're interested, I've done one on the Yaris hybrid of this age. I've done one on the CHR of this age. I'm sure I've done another one, and I might as well do the RAV4. I think the only one I've missed out is the Yaris, which is now called the Corolla. But I do actually have one of those that comes in regular, and I'll probably do that, and that'll be the whole range. Oh, sorry, I did the Prius. The other week. So if you are interested in any of the other Toyota hybrid brands, have a look on my other videos. They'll all be there. If they're not there, I'll be due to upload them soon. So back on the review anyways. This is, well, the second from recent version of the RAV4. There's a newer version just recently come out, I think last year. This one, it's on a private plate, but I think it is somewhere around the 2011/2012 range. I personally think this shape looks better than the new one. Actually, the new one, I don't know, it looks okay, but I still slightly, I may change my mind in time. I do think that this shape, in this colour in particular, pearl white, does look the best in the XL spec, which is more or less the top of the range. Personally, if this guy ever offers to sell this car, I'll probably buy it. I really do like it. Only one disappointing fact about it, which I'll let you know later on in the video when I get into that bit. But apart from that, it's all positives from me. If you watch me car reviews, I do honest reviews. But if I genuinely don't like something, I'll be honest and say. But at the same time, if I do like something, hence you'll probably notice a lot of my videos have Toyotas in. I really don't think you can get better for the money as well. So, on to what this is, just so you know, this is a Toyota RAV4 hybrid, 4-wheel drive. So, there's a bit of a difference with these, you see, is there, on a year change, I think it's somewhere around 2017, so just be careful when you're buying one of these. At some point within 2017, you have to start paying £140/£150 a year tax. Before 17, those rules were quite simple. This one, since it's the 4-wheel drive one, wow, wait for it, it's a big tax, £30 a year, because it's 4-wheel drive. If you get the 2-wheel drive RAV4, it's free tax. And it's got, this is the fact as well, it's got a great big 2.5 petrol engine. It's run by a CVT gearbox, obviously, with the usual Toyota hybrid stuff. So the only thing I will say with these, a bit like the Lexus, what is it, the 430h, it's like a 3-point-something V6 petrol. Don't expect these to be like a Yaris or a Corolla or a Prius. It's a 2.5 petrol engine. Yes, around the doors you will get good mileage because you're not having to work the engine as hard, but if you do a lot of motorway miles and tone, I'll get into the tone bit in a minute, you would probably be better off with a diesel, which is normally a 2.2, which is a 2AD engine. Just be careful on those ones for head gaskets. I think I went through this. They're also fitted to the Lexus, like the saloon car, as well as a few other of the Toyota range, 2AD. Normally FHV, it's like what used to be classed as the D-Cat. They changed it onto these, became your regular 2.2. Just be careful on those. If you get any little spots of antifreeze starting to come out the overflow cap, it's an early sign of the head gaskets. But we'll keep to the hybrid thing. So naturally, with this being the XL model, you'll notice it's got all the extras. I mean, we've got blue, which Toyota likes to remind you, that's like the sign of the hybrid marked up on the back. Not only does it need it on the back, it's on the side. Toyota are very proud of this hybrid thing, and again, blue on the front. The beauty is this thing's running away here, and the only noise it's making is the fan on, because the air conditioning's running, because it's absolutely boiling today. It's 28 degrees, so when I jump inside, I'll gladly cool off. So as you can see, you get your full LED running lights. It's got your LED standard lights. I'll just pause the video and I'll go inside and put them on. So there we go, there's the light. Obviously, they're your running lights, which then turn to your side lights, they're dulled down. You've got your dip beam and your main beam, which are full LED, which are really bright, fantastic. A little bit disappointing why Toyota need to put a old-fashioned candle-style bulb in for the indicator. Makes it very unclear when you've got these bright lights going at night. And again, like my Mitsubishi L200 candle power, rubbish fog lights. Just if you're going to start with the LED on top spec, just make everything LED. The expense has already gone into the light to make the LED running lights and the headlights. Just make it all LED. Simple as that. As you can see, they look spot on. Being the XL model, you get all the extra chrome around here, chrome along the bottom. It's got your front parking sensors as well. I don't think this one's got what I've demonstrated with the CHR, the self-parking, because they normally have a sensor here. I could be wrong. You also get these nice wheels, which I personally like. They're like a kind of dark silver, like a gunmetal grey, but you know, not too dark to make them look what our class is like kind of you know, like aftermarket. They look really nice 18-inch, spot on that. I like where they look. Yeah, I noticed these when I was I've just serviced this car, very dull. That's one negative thing I will say, that is absolutely rubbish. It is slightly brighter at this angle, but not much. And there's nothing wrong with them because the other one's exactly the same. So obviously being the XL, you get your option. This is an optional extra. I don't know if you can pick this up on camera, but the pearl white really is one of Toyota's best colours. I like it. Really is spot on. You've got your full keyless entry, which I'll demonstrate in a moment, where you just simply touch this to lock, touch it. I think you just put your hand in to open. Tinted rear windows. You also get your chrome strip along here. Sometimes you can get optional chrome strips along there, but I personally think they're a waste of time because they're the bits that are going to get damaged and marked anyway, so you're better off without. Around to the back, you've got your LED fog lights again with the hybrid model. You get your LED side lights, which are these pieces, and you get your LED brake lights, which are in here, which naturally I can't demonstrate. Again, old-fashioned candle style indicators. Yeah, it's less expensive, but it's all LED here, Come on, Toyota, it's a hybrid car, make it all energy efficient. It doesn't make any sense to me. We've got LED fog lights, why not the indicators? But whatever, that's the way they seem to be. You've got your reversing camera, which are fantastic on these, and this one, as you can see, has got a detachable tow bar fitted. Probably got the 16 pin, no, it's got the old style one actually, that's unusual. And you know, again, I'll demonstrate this. I'm not sure if I'll do it because the car's technically running. So you've got your self-lift tailgate, which is a nice feature to have. As you can see, great big boot on this thing. Fantastic. I mean, again, this is why I like Toyotas. They seem to do the simple things right, where other companies just can't seem to get. Like, look how low that boot line is for getting luggage in and out. The amount of new estate cars and small SUVs like these have such a high boot level, and then a drop makes it impossible for getting luggage in, cases, pets. Fantastic that you can't get more level entry than that, and such low to the ground as well. I mean, look at the size of the boot. I mean, this is just like a storage thing, and he's got like an electric cool box in here. There's the luggage cover that comes over. I can bet you this will be a dual level floor. There you go, you've got all that storage down there, your spare wheel. And I believe there's a battery under the boot as well there. It probably will have a 12-volt port. It's got your light there. It will be somewhere. It's just naturally, as you can imagine, that's blocking it. It will have a 12-volt socket because he's got a fridge in the back. So really nice in the back, loads of space. Probably one of the biggest in the class, to be honest, this. And you just simply hit the button, a little beep, and it comes down. Again, this is all on the XL model. Definitely, if you're going to spend, like, you know, I don't know how much these are worth now, 15, 20 grand, whatever, get the XL. I can't see the point in spending a lot of money and buying a base spec car. Just save a little bit longer, wait a bit longer, and get the nicer spec one and trust us, you'll be happy with it. Again, they might have been optional extras. I don't know if they come standard on the XL. Chrome roof bars to really set the car off, and at the same time, as well as I personally think they look good, they're functional as well for putting things like roof boxes and whatnot on them. So that's what I'll do now. I'll just open the bonnet, but I'll pause the video while I do so. So then, before I go too much into the interior and everything, we'll have a little talk about the engine. So, it's a 2.5 petrol 4-cylinder engine. Produces around about 153 brake horsepower. That'll be including all the electric, the hybrid governs. If you've watched my other videos, you know what I'm talking about, but just bear with us while I explain things to people who obviously haven't seen it and are looking at buying these. These are a non-plug-in hybrid. They're the best that you want. These Mitsubishi ones to do with the plug-in hybrids, they're a waste of time because you're lucky if you get about 20 mile on plugging it in. So it doesn't seem to really add up in my opinion. You're better off with these. People wonder, I've had loads of people I've suggested buy a hybrid, like, oh no, I don't want to be plugging things in and having to charge them up. You don't have to do anything. Hear that there? The engine's just cut in because it needs to be charged, because obviously the air conditioning's running. So I'm just going to switch it off for one moment. Just switch it off just so it's not running away. So that's been running now there for about 20 minutes or so. So the beauty is with these hybrids, well, they'll probably be expensive in years to come, is the air conditioning pump, and that item down there is also your electronic water pump. So the beauty is when the engine's still hot and the electric motors are running, your air conditioning and your heating and obviously water circulation for the winter all run without the engine having to kick in. So everybody will have probably noticed with a regular car with stop-start, every time you come to a junction, the stop-start engages, your air conditioning goes off, and it starts blowing warm. Or in the winter, you'll find the stop-start won't work because the engine's not up to temperature. So these have it really set. But like I've mentioned in my other videos, like I said, 2.5 petrol, hybrid one, CVT transmission, that barely ever go wrong. These get used as taxis, like these combinations, more like in the Aris and the Prius. And there's very few problems unless abused. 153 brake. But honestly, I'm not going to lie to anybody here. If you want pure economy, I'm sorry I'm talking old-fashioned here, buy the diesel. Honestly, buy the diesel. But if you want refinement in what I would class as future-proof technology, i.e. being able to get into the low emission zones in all these new city centres, go for the hybrid. Personally, if it was me, I'd sooner pay the little bit extra, get the hybrid, you're future-proof. And to be quite honest, I couldn't care less how much fuel or whatever it uses. Just the fact of driving around city centres and at slow speeds below about 30 mile an hour, you're running full electric, and it's absolutely fantastic. And the fact that this is 4-wheel drive as well is even better again, because it looks the part. And then in the winter, you're not sat there like most of these like cash guys and stuff, spinning their wheels, not getting anywhere, because half of them are only made as 2-wheel drive anyway. At least if it's going to be a small SUV, make it 4-wheel drive. It's hybrid, it's got every tick in the box for my opinion, and it's future proof. You know, like, you haven't got a timing belt to worry about, there's no clutch to worry about. They're just great. They really are. The only problem I'll say with all these hybrids are the regular battery, the little tiny battery that starts everything up, is absolutely rubbish. You'll find you can't leave these for, say, more than 3 weeks without using them. Even though there's enough power in the battery packs to probably run your house, if that little tiny battery in the boot isn't charged, or it goes flat, which they do drain, the car won't start. That's the only downside. I wish Toyota would get on top of that issue, which they haven't yet. But anyways, even servicing wise, air filter, easy. Iridium spark plugs, you hardly ever need to change them. Oil and filter, dead easy. They only take 4.5 to 5 litres of oil. Not a big expense. Pollen filter, nice and easy to do. Absolutely great to work on. You've got your cooling system here, which cools all like your electrical governors. I'm not going to get too technical on that because probably most people aren't interested, and that's just your regular radiator coolant. So that's under the bonnet. I'll just turn that. Right, so we'll just finish off on the outside of this one. The tow bar, we'll go to that. Now, with this being the hybrid, unfortunately, the car's very heavy. I can't tell you the exact figure because obviously on the chassis plate and stuff, it just gives you its maximum gross weight and its maximum trail weight. So you can't really get an indication of its unladen weight, but it will be a lot heavier than, say, a diesel, because you've got all them electrical governors, a big 2.5 petrol engine, and all the battery packs. So unfortunately, since it's heavy, that, believe it or not, does reduce your towing capacity on these, because there's only a set limit. Really, these RAVs were only designed originally to be your petrol and diesel. They've added all this extra weight, so that naturally has to restrict how much of a train weight you've got. So I've done a calculation on this. Obviously they'll vary. If you've got a petrol or diesel one, you'll be able to tow more, but these can only tow 1,650 kilograms. That's like just like 1.6 ton. I've got a medium-sized caravan, a Compass Amiga. If you look on my channel at my other videos, that's 1,500 kilograms. So this would be nearly maxed out towing a medium-sized caravan, which was disappointing because I was fancying one of these. But I would imagine in time I'll probably want to upgrade my caravan to a bit bigger, and with one of these I would be stuck. So yes, it's got a tow bar. Yes, being a hybrid, off the mark torque with the electric motor will be fantastic. But unfortunately, if you've driven these hybrid CVTs before, you will know that when you put your foot down to overtake, or you become under load, like going up a hill, they do like to rev really high and hard. And I could imagine towing a caravan would really have the engine working overtime. And to be quite honest, I think you would get very, very poor miles per gallon towing on kind of hilly environments like countrysides and stuff. If you do use one of these to tow, please leave us a comment. I could be wrong, but I'm just basing off driving these. I have never towed with a hybrid before, so I've got no idea, but I could imagine when you load everything up, bearing in mind 1,600 kilograms isn't much, so when one of these is maxed out on paper, yeah, I don't know, I would have to ask questions, and please leave a comment below if you do know anything about that. So let's just move on to the interior. I've had a look in the boot already. We'll have a quick look at the front left. As you can see, this has got the nice full leather. Look, really nice to see this soft touch leather on the dashboard. We'll get more into that when we're inside. Airbag deactivation, again, nice black leather door cards, nice low step to get in. Not keen of these when people fit side steps to them, because it just makes them far too low and then utterly useless if you want to do some very, very light off-roading, which is really all these are capable of, in fairness. So you've got your back seats, nice full black leather, loads of leg room. Nice to see there we've got some connectivity. Bit tight like on a top of the range car. I would expect it to have some airflow to the back passengers here, either somewhere here or there. That's a bit disappointing, and only one plug, you know. I can't get the exact, it's a private plate, but I'm sure it is somewhere around an 11 or 12 plate anyways. I'm recording on my phone, so I can't go back to the reg check to find out. But again, even though say this is a 4-wheel drive hybrid, the floor is lovely and flat. It's nice to see that, so the middle passenger would actually be able to have a decent ride. You know, tinted windows in the back. I don't know what that little vent, that must be where the battery pack is under the back seats, so I would imagine the seats at the back are maybe a little bit higher with a hybrid to what it would be with a standard car. Don't know, don't quote us. I'm just looking why there would be a vent underneath there. Must be for some kind of ventilation for the batteries. So we've seen around the back, I've shown you all that. We'll have a look at the other side. Why not? Because I'm just going into there now. Like I've said, again, it's just a great way of getting in and out. Definitely one of the best in its class, I would say, for rear leg room, low step, nice seat, like high up so you can see over the back. And to be honest, we'll have a sit in the back. Yeah, a little bit firm, the seat, I will admit, not in the back. But that's kind of the way a lot of the modern cars are nowadays. You know, it's nice view to the front, it's fantastic. So we'll jump inside because it's absolutely roasting out here. I'll just find what I've done with the key, which is here, to show you. This is great. These contactless on these. To be honest, you just swipe your finger, bang. The mirrors do normally fold in if they're on automatic, and then you just simply walk up the car. As long as you've got the key on you, which is in your pocket, you just dip your hand behind, and it opens the car before you even pull the handle. Walk away, click it, locked. And obviously with this one having the remote boot, give the button a press. I think you've got to have it unlocked or hold it in. I'm not quite sure what you do. There we go. Just hold it in, and there's your boot open. I would imagine it has sensors all over the place, so it doesn't hit like you've got to press the button quite in for quite a long time to get it to activate. Same with bringing it down. You've just got to be careful if you're in an underground car park or something like that, clearly. But I do like that feature, I must admit. So, we'll jump inside. And before we do anything, I'm going to just start the engine up. Well, switch the car on, which, as you can see, that's all it takes. As long as you've got the key on you, press the button, job done. The engine hasn't even started up, and the air conditioner's blown freezing cold. Because like I've mentioned, the air conditioning pump has an electric motor in it, so it runs without the engine running. So, interior-wise, I think this is lovely. I mean, this really is like soft cushioned dashboard, leather, white stitch, great, like that. It's also got plenty of vents, which a lot of newer cars seem to be missing, and it's great. It really, you can feel the airflow coming at you, where a lot of these cars that are either that far away, it doesn't reach you. You know, it's a really nice setup, and you've got this nice brushed aluminium chrome across the top, obviously hazard switch in the centre there, and you've got the most weirdest button I've ever seen. You have a look around this interior, quick look, and see if you can see where you would normally find your traction control button. Here, no, there, down here, no, there, no, hazard light, little clue, oh yeah, there it is. Hidden. I mean, this is broad daylight today, like a lovely day, and look where that is, hidden in this corner. Why on earth they had to put that in there, I do not know. But you know, and you do kind of need these sometimes when it's snowing, because these hybrids really do, the traction control is very sensitive, and you sometimes do need to spin the wheels up a bit to get moving. Obviously this little screen is designed with the alarm button and all the backseat passengers for airbag, for seat belts, so you know, that's nice, but a bit stupid. Like, that would have been nice to have actually done something, like for example being a clock. I know there's a clock there, but like, just seems a rather wasted bit of space, that does. We're going about T-shelves. It's not really a T-shelf, but it's somewhere to put something, which is nice to see. I really like this up here. This is what used to be fitted to a lot of older cars, which nowadays has just seemed to have been forgotten about. And I've only just noticed that as I've been speaking there. Like I've said, there's a very nice flow of air hitting at you. I've noticed with, like, say, new cars, you've got the fan is only on 2 clicks, and it goes up, I would say, a good 8. And I'm sitting quite far back here, and I can feel such a nice, like, cold breeze. Or on a hot day, it'll be, like, warm on us. And I'm trying to work out, like, is it all these? That's not focused. It is. That sort of is. But it's this up here. They've got this nice... well, they used to be called, like, a fresh air vent on older cars. But obviously, this is coming up at this level. And it is just hitting you nicely. Not in the face. Just on your whole body. It for some reason hasn't got that side of it's blanked off for the passenger, but you've got it for the driver. Why it wouldn't just be all one, I don't know. I'm not going to touch it or adjust it because the guy's obviously got it set to the way he wants it. But that's a lovely feature, that is, especially on a hot day like this. So like I've said, full leather with white stitched. Looks really nice. Front seat is a lot more comfortable than the back, I must admit. Like I say, nice storage there, storage in all the doors. We'll just go do what I usually do, go up and check up here. Nice to see, vanity lights, black headlining, that really sets a white car off, in my opinion. Full. I don't know if that's standard on the hybrid or the XL or just in general on the RAV4, but I really like the black headlining in these. Got your sunglasses. You've also got your lighting system up here. No sunroof, unfortunately. My uncle's got one of these cars with a sunroof. It really is nice to have sunroofs. That's something else new cars lack. Say driver's side, got your light, and also your electronic dipped-in mirror. This has got all the camera governs behind here, which when you're driving will tell you like what speed limit it is. It picks up the signs. And we'll get back over here in a minute. We're getting a little bit away here. So with this, you've got what I love to see. You've got your full like display telling you how charged the battery is, if the engine's running, which it is, and it's sending power obviously to the generator, to the battery. So if I put it into drive, you'll see now, power going to all 4 wheels. Take my foot off the throttle, power stopped. And obviously when you're driving and you you brake, it's got your regenerative braking, and it'll show you from the wheels the power going back into the battery, charging it. I personally find that's a lovely feature to have up on there, which you can also have on here. You've got your sat nav on there as well, and you can have that also in front of you. Just nice to see. Also, this is sat nav as well. I went with this guy to buy this car, and it was a little bit disappointing that the fact that when he I'm just moving the sat-nav, if I can, just bear with us. Sorry, I had to just change that there. So obviously you can see the sat-nav is great on this. You can just move it around, and wherever you leave your finger, it tells you where it is. But when this guy bought this car, they said the sat-nav was just simply not activated. It needed, like, activated for some reason. Don't know why, but he took it in and got it sorted, and obviously now it works perfectly fine. So you've got your full touchscreen sat nav, which works great, like I've showed you. You've got your full display for your car. You've got Bluetooth hands-free. I'm not sure if it's got Apple CarPlay. I wouldn't like to say, but it has got like a 12-volt USB there to plug it in. So I would imagine it has some form of connectivity. It'll have DAB digital radio. I ain't going to press that button because the minute I press it, will have the music on, which is copyright. I can't do that. And back down to here, great. I love this. Like, I've already been on about this in my other videos. Can't stand climate control systems that you've got to mess about in these stupid screens. Like on Audis, it's absolutely pointless waste of time. I love this. It's so to hand, nice big buttons, clear display, easy to use when you're driving. Can't ask for better. So you've got your fan control, your mode, you've got your heated rear screen, which is your heated mirrors, your front demister, air conditioning. You can put it in mono system or dual zone, auto off, and you can put the blown from fast to soft and whatnot and recirculate. Nice, easy to use, great, love that. The only thing is though, with this coming out so far, it does leave the buttons under here. You know, that's the whole like hand length to get to these buttons. Which these are sport. When you do put this thing into sport, it does, if you look at lights up all the dashboard and it says sport at the bottom, really when you put this into sport, it does actually really liven the car. It kind of dulls down, it kind of, you know, stiffens up the steering a bit, increases the throttle response. Clearly the hybrid levels will be bang out the window. But they do take off, and this is what I was saying with the new generation of the Toyota, especially the CHR. These 3 buttons have been taken away, and you've got to go through all the computer to change them, which is really stupid. So obviously you can go in sport mode, you can go in eco mode, as you can see down there. It changes to eco and goes blue, so red, sport. You've got eco mode, which clearly will dull everything down and keep the electric motor running more efficiently. Then the next one along is obviously you can't do it because the battery's low. As you can see, it's just 3 bars. But what you can do is get it to run in pure electric mode, but it'll only do that if the battery's fully charged. So that it's nice to have those settings, or you can just simply have it off like it is there. It's off now. So neither. So really, you've got 4 settings. You've got sport, eco, electric vehicle only, and then when it's off, what I would assume is normal mode. But like I said, it is just a bit stupid having that like right arm reach down there. Also, you've got your front heated seats, which is nice to have on these. You've got your 3.5mm jack, a USB, another charging port. Then obviously you've got loads of storage, cup holders. Obviously, again, the only thing I'd criticise with the Yaris, as well as this, it's a bit of an old-fashioned, boring, standard-looking automatic gear gator, whereas in the Prius, the Aris, what's the other one? There's a few other ones. They've got a really nice modern, like, style gear lever, where the Yaris in the RAV4 have this like really boring, bland, like normal automatic, like kind of gear lever, like to this S, like it hasn't got gears as such. So these must have a different system in to change the gears, but not with CVT gearboxes. What this has got in, and all the hybrids, you never you never feel them change, and they don't really have gears as such. They're like driven. So I don't know. That's a bit odd. Maybe I'm wrong. I must admit I haven't had a massive amount to do with the RAV4 being 4-wheel drive and having the 2.5 engine, so I could be wrong with this. But that's a bit odd. Normally you just have, after drive, you have like your B, which is like your regenerative braking, where effectively you can try a little bit of one pedal driving, so to speak, which everybody will have heard of with these new electric cars. So again, nice padded leather armrest. There's probably connections in here somewhere, but the guy's got loads of stuff in there, so I'm not going to go rooting through it. Nice again to see straightforward handbrake. Now, I'm calling that for being old school and old-fashioned, but I still like the old-fashioned handbrake. That's fantastic to have, so no issues with that. Down here, again, Toyota's favourite little trick at times is hiding buttons everywhere, like the heated steering wheel on the CHR is like right down there, and so it is with the Yaris's as well, like for like these other settings they have. So yeah, that's your electronic tailgate from within the car to operate it. Probably most people wouldn't even realise it's there unless you look hard enough. And down here you've got your lane departure control, which is really annoying on my Mitsubishi. Stop start, standard button fitment, and if it had the automatic parking, I would assume it would have had this button. It's got your electric folding mirrors. Nice feature to have. And with this one as well, which I haven't noticed on many of these, it could or may not be, but you've got your two electric seat positions, you know, for you and your partner, you and whoever used the car. Nice to have that. 4 electric windows, standard Toyota stuff. Lock and unlock, child locks for the rear windows. And you've obviously on your steering wheel, you've got your voice control modes. You've got all the like your telephone hands-free, volume up and down, as well as all your trip computer on here. And like I've just been through all the displays, the maps and everything that goes through there. You've also, this is what this car's got. You see, it's got adaptive radar cruise control, which is fantastic to have. A really nice feature, just so like, you know, the car, I've been through this, everybody will know what it is. But again, go for the XL model, you get all this nice stuff. I can't see the point in getting like the icon and stuff, because like you're just getting, in a little car you're fine, but when you're buying something nice like this, like a bigger like executive kind of car, would class it as really like a premium SUV, it's nice to have all like, you know, like the leather stitch and all the extras. Like what bugs me are like empty buttons like that. It's nice to get a car where most buttons are taken up with something. There's nothing worse getting a car just looking at everywhere where things could have been and they're not. The only thing I've noticed this one hasn't got, which the newer ones have, I think, is the hill descent control. But I don't really think many people are going to be doing a great deal of off-roading in a hybrid, to be quite honest. So again, But here you've got your standard Toyota dials. You know, you've got your automatic lights and wipers, front rear fog, like I say. You've got your control for your rain sensing wipers. It's all pretty much Toyota stuff from there. So I'm not going to go on too much about it. If you've got any questions that you want to ask, feel free. But I would definitely give the thumbs up to these. Would I buy one of these with my own money? Yes, definitely I would. There is a few little things I'm not keen of, which I've been through on the video. My main thing is as well with all Toyotas, Hondas, and these era of cars, they rust badly underneath if you're planning on keeping them. So this car's just been in the day for a full clear underbody wax oil and a full service using Toyota parts. I mean, look, I even use the genuine Toyota wipers. So, you know, get them under sealed underneath if you plan on keeping them, because they're going to be fine for the first 10 years. But if you're planning on spending money on one, I would definitely recommend getting it under sealed. And just, regardless of what you're look at my other videos as well about servicing plans, do not take out a service plan with Toyota. If you've got a good, reputable local garage who use genuine parts, use them, and don't do what Toyota service schedules are, because you can get service kits for these hybrids really relatively cheap, and you're worthwhile. You know, like every couple of years, just do a full service. Get all like I've done with this today: oil filter, air filter, pollen filter, and just do the whole lot rather than skimping like Toyota. I'll probably leave the air filter 2 or 3 years. Don't bother for what they cost. Just get them done, and you really will find you don't have many issues with these cars. There really are. All I ever do on these cars is servicing and maintenance work. You hardly ever have any problems with them. And that's all across the range, to be quite honest, from new and old, unless they get abused, you know. So obviously the dashboard there, you can see it's your standard, not like a rev counter. So when you're charging, braking, it'll go down into the charge mode. Then you've got your eco mode. Then obviously if I start it up by pressing the throttle, nothing happens. It's only when you're driving, so you know when you hit the power mark, the engine will be screaming. Eco mode's where you want to try and keep it, and then you'll notice when you brake, it goes down into the charge. Nice to see a temperature gauge, which they removed off a lot of these. I don't know why they took them off. So a nice clear speedo. I'm not sure. It would be nice to see. I haven't actually driven this car yet, but like it would be nice to see if that had the speed on there. I don't know, it might or it might not. I'm not going to press too many of the buttons. But there you go. There's a review of a Toyota RAV4 hybrid, 4-wheel drive one, XL model. So if you like this kind of video, like, comment and subscribe. If you want to see any other Toyota hybrids, look on my other videos. But thank you for watching. I'll catch you in another video. Bye.